Good morning, students. In the last class, we have completed the meaning of public corporation. What are the merit of public corporation, features, demerit of public corporation, as well as suitability of the public corporation. So today we are going to read the government company. It is the third type of the public sector undertaking. Okay. Government company means any company in which at least 50% of the paid up share capital is held by the central or the state government or partly by central or state government. Okay. The government companies are governed and ruled by the provision of Companies Act 1956 like any other registered company. For example, Steel Authority of India, State Trading Corporation, Hindustan Machine Tools. Okay. Government company is a company in which 50% of the share of the ownership is under the state or the central government. Means ki if there is 100% of share capital, capital which means it is investment for the authorize the company, so that 50% of the ownership, 50% share of the ownership is regulated by the central government or the state government, as well as 49% is go through the private sector. Okay. The government companies are governed and ruled by the provision of Companies Act 1956. Okay. The government companies ruled as well as governed and controlled by the Companies Act 1956 like any other or registered company, whatever we talk about the in joint stock company. Okay. There are several examples of the government company like SAIL, Steel Authority of India, State Trading Corporation, Hindustan Machine Tool, etc. Okay. Now what are the features of the government company or the BHEL? Okay. BHEL is Bharat Heavy Electricity Limited. So first feature is registration. The government company gets incorporated under the Companies Act 1956. All the provision of the Companies Act are applicable on a government company. Okay. The government company is incorporated or means registered under the Companies Act 1956. All the provision of the Companies Act are applicable on a government company. Okay. Whatever the different provisions which are under the Companies Act, all are the applicable also on the government companies. Government can exempt it from some provision by passing a special resolution. Okay. Government company can also free from several provision when they have taken the special resolution. They have passes the special resolution from the authorized or as well as the parliament. So they have taken as a free from the several rules and regulation, several restriction by taking the some provision as by passing a special resolution in the parliament. So ownership, the second feature is ownership. The government company is wholly or partly owned by the government. Okay. The government company is wholly, that means full control is by the government, or the partly control means it is also the, that is 51% share of the government and 49% of the private sector. So it is sometime it is wholly, that means 100% share capital, or sometime it is control or govern the only the partly, means 51% they have regulator control. The share capital of these companies is owned by the government of India in the name of the president. Okay. The share capital, the capital which is invested in the companies, the different shares are taken or the owned by the government through government in the name of the president. Any share capital which is invested in the company is taken with the name of the president of the India. So third feature of the government company is management. The government company is managed by the board of directors who are nominated by the government. Okay, the government company is managed by the different board of director, which is the appointed by the government, and other shareholder. Other shareholder means the one who holding the share of the company. The government has authority to appoint majority of the director. Okay, the government has also authority to appoint to remunerate to appoint the different the majority of the director. It all the responsibilities up to the government, that they can appoint others director also in the company. Okay, fourth one is separate legal entity. The government company has a separate legal existence, means it has their own existence. Okay, it can buy and sell property in its own name. Okay, any government company can sell as well as purchase the shares by uh, in his her or in his or her name. Okay, they do not do different thing. It can enter into contract in its own name. Okay, they can also enter in any contract with its own name. So in this there is no distinction between the both of them. Fifth one is ministerial control. A government company is subject to ministerial control. The concerned ministry make appointment of the director. That means government company is under the ministry, under the control of the ministry, as well as they also appoint the different directors in the company. The minister may issue direction and can assume the overall supervision of the undertaking. Okay, the minister may issue directions. Okay, they have issued the different directions, rules and regulation, and assume overall supervision of the undertaking. They also supervise the all the undertaking, all the direction, which kind of function the company is functioning, how many type, what are the goods production, and how much units. So all these are regulated and controlled and supervised by the ministry. Okay, so it is the control under the ministry. Next is financial autonomy. The government company enjoys borrowing power. Okay, it can raise capital by issue of various securities. It is free to use its revenue for the growth and expansion of the company. Okay, financial autonomy. They have they do not they do not dependent on the other. They have the freedom to use their finance. Okay, they have also the power of borrowing, means take money from the others. It can raise capital by issue of various security. There are different kind of securities like shares, treasury bill, bonds. These are all are the government securities. They can raise money by issuing the different securities, and they all are also free to use their revenue or income whenever they required for the growth and expansion of the company. Okay, it's not like that it goes under the treasury of the government. It is in the government company, they all are free to use their revenue whenever they required for the growth and expansion of the company. Okay, next is efficient staff. The recruitment and remuneration of the employees of government company is independently decided by the government itself. Okay, what will be the procedure of the appointment, what will be the salaries of the employees, it is decided by the government company itself. Okay, there were no interference of the anyone else. They are not governed by the civil services rule. Okay, they are not governed, they do not regulated and governed by the different services different. They are not governed and treated like the civil servant. They all the recruitment, the procedure of appointment, as well as salaries of the employees are decided by the government company itself. Okay, next is accountability. Accountability means responsibility, or to whom they have to give the answers. the government companies are accountable to the ministry or the department concerned. Okay, the government companies are the responsible for to the ministry and the department. Okay, whatever the department is made, so they all are government companies responsible for the to provide the answer, to give the answer, the ministry as well as the department which is uh, frame, which is construct for that purpose. So its annual report is presented and discussed in the parliament or state assembly. Okay, the annual report of the government company is prepared as well as presented and discussed in the parliament. Okay, these all are the accountability. The government company is accountable for the ministry as well as the department which is concerned, which is basically made for to restructure, to see the what are the different activities of the government company, as well as the annual report of the government company is prepared, presented and discussed in the parliament or the state legislature or the central legislature. Okay, next is, what are the different merits of the government company? The main advantages of the government companies are administrative autonomy. The government company is relatively free from government and political interference. It can function freely and smoothly under the general vigilance of the government. Suitable changes can be introduced whenever needed within the provision of the Companies Act. Okay. When we talking about the freedom related to administration, they also have the freedom to take the in the administration as well as the management. They all are the government company are the free from the all the political interference and the government interference. It can function freely and smoothly under the general vigilance of the government. Okay, they have work freely and smoothly. There will no interference by the political parties as well as the government. If they want to changes, they want to change some policies as well as rules and regulation, they have to take the provision from the Companies Act. If they take the provisions from the Company Act, so they will able to change any policies as well as whatever they have to change in the criteria, rules and regulation. It is up to them. Okay, next is greater flexibility. The government company is managed, financed and audited just as any other private sector company. It can therefore secure greater flexibility, freedom of operation, quickness of action in running the enterprises. Okay, these all are the government company is management of these government company, financing of these government company, as well as audited means audit means evaluation. It is all these done as the private company. Whatever the with the private company, it all also link with the public sorry government company also. The government company is managed as well as financed and audited just as the any private company. There is no difference between the management, financing as well as audit between the public sector as well as the private sector. So it can therefore secure greater flexibility. Okay, they have too much flexibility. If they want to change something, they can. There is no too much rigidities to follow the some rules and regulation, as well as they have also the scale of operation, which means they have freedom to do any operation. They do not take any permission from the government as well as the political parties. And quickness of action, if there were no too much formalities, so that they are able to take any decision as much as possible. Okay, so much it is totally depend upon the freedom of operation and quickness of action in running the enterprises, because there is no interference by the political parties as well as the government. So in the government company there is greater flexibility. Next is efficient staff. The government company can have their own rules and regulation regarding the recruitment and remuneration of employees. They can appoint professional and specialized people by offering better services and salaries. Okay, the government can have their own. They do not. The government companies not do not interfere by the political as well as the government. So the government companies has their own rules and regulation related to their recruitment, appointment of the employees as well as the salaries of the employees. So they can also appoint the expert as well as the professional employee for providing the better quality, for providing the for taking the better decision when the any member, when the any employee is too much professional and expert, they give the more expertise as well as more efficient decision. So the government company is also able to appoint the professional and specialized people so that they give the better services and services. And they can also, the government company is also able to provide the basic better services to the professional, as well as they also provide the best salaries to their professional and as well as expert and specialized people. So in the government company there is efficient staff. Next is collaboration. The government company can avail and accommodate managerial skill, technical know how or expertise of the private enterprise, and by conveniently collaborating with it. Okay, in the government company there is collaboration with the private company. Okay, they have avail and accommodate managerial skill. Okay, when they have to, when they want any different type of skill to do any activity, as well as any they have any technical issue, or they want any machines, technology, and many any koi expertise, so that they can collaborate with the private sector, private enterprises, and they have some collaboration and they give the better result. Private sector will provide the basic facilities to the government company also, so that the government company is collaborate with the private sector for their functioning in the company. Okay, next is what are the different merit as well as the disadvantages of the government company. Okay, the major drawback of the government company are: first is autonomy on paper only. Okay, autonomy on paper only, that means it shows that there is no freedom in reality that is shown in the paper. Okay, it is only shown in the paper but not in the reality. Okay, the freedom and flexibility offered to government company is true theoretical only. In actual practice, the government, being the major shareholder, dictate the terms and get the thing done its own way. Okay, whatever the different freedom and flexibility we see in their merits as well as the feature, but these are not in practically, these all are only in theoretical. In actually, they all are, it's all the function of the business, or all the function of the company is regulated by the public sector or the government sector only. They do their work according to their own. They do not take permission, they do not take any decision from the others private sector. Okay, so the being the major shareholder, because they are the major shareholder, because 51% share have owned the public sector or the government company. So being the major shareholder, they dictate the terms and getting the things done in own way. Okay, they have they dictate the different rules and regulation, terms and condition, and doing the work there in own way. Okay, they do not take permission or as well as decision from the others. Whatever they want to do they can. Okay, So because the 51% share capital of the government companies. Okay. Next is political interference. The government companies are treated as the personal property of the minister. Okay. Such the worst advantage or the means the gift from the our government that the minister think that the all the economy, all the companies are their own personal property, but it doesn't. Okay. So the interference of the minister is frequent. The operational policies of the government companies are formed according to their whims and the fancies of the ministers. That means कि the government companies are treated at their personal property of the minister. Okay, there is too much political interference in the government company. The minister think that the government company their own property, and the interference of the minister is they too much interfering in the government company too much frequently, very frequently they are interfering. The operational policy of the government companies are formed according to the whims and fancies of the minister. What are the different policies has been made in the government company? It is according to the minister. Okay, what are the what will be the decision, what will be the rules and regulations? It is also decided by the minister. Okay, so for that there is too much political interference in the government company. Third is board packed with government representative. The board of directors in government companies appointed by the government. So these director always try to please the government rather than improving efficiency of the government company. Okay, the board of director in the government company is appointed by the government. So all the board of directors think that they want to make happy the government and the minister rather than they think about to how to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of the government company. They only think that the how can they manipulate the minister as well as the government, but they do not concentrate too much on the improvement as well as the improving the efficiency of the government company. It is the biggest drawback for the government company. So let's talk about the what are the at where it is government company is suitable. The government company is suitable form of organization where government wants to control a company in the private sector without nationalization. Okay, it is suitable on that condition when the government wants to control a company, when government want to control a private sector without nationalization of the private sector, because at that condition, because 51% share capital are of public sector and government company, and 49% are of private sector. When the government company want to control all the private sector, in that condition government companies are suited best. Second is when government wants to go for collaboration with the private enterprises. When government want to collaborate with the private sector, in that condition government company is suitable. Third one is when the project require government planning and fund. When any project is made, and that condition it is required that there should be a planning, there should be a planning by the yes, government company is suitable at that situation when any project which require the planning as well as fund from the government. In that condition also the government company is suitable. Okay, now let's compare different form of public sector enterprises together. Okay, and that means there are three kind of public sector enterprises. First is departmental undertaking, second is public corporation, and third one is government company. Let's have a comparison between three of them. Okay, on the point of the different basis. So first point is formation. In the departmental undertaking, it is formed by the minister as a department of the government. In the public corporation, it is formed by the passing a special act in the parliament or state legislature. And in the when we talk about the government company, it is formed by the taking the registration under Companies Act 1956. Okay. So department in the when we talk about the formation, it is formed by the ministry as a department of the government. So in the second, legal status, in the departmental undertaking there is no separate legal entity, but in the public corporation there is separate legal entity. That means a member of the company can take any contract which is in its own name. And in government company also there is separate legal entity. When we talk about the finance, in the departmental undertaking, total financed by the government in budgetary allocation. When the budget will pass, there will be finance is separated for the departmental undertaking. When we talk about the public corporation, it gets fund from the government but can also independently also. In that case, in public corporation case, they get the fund from the government, and they can also raise the fund independently also by the purchasing and selling the shares. So in the government company, separate financing, government provide fund by taking major shareholding, can borrow, and private participation is also possible. Okay. In that condition, separate financing, okay, government also provide fund in that condition, but private sector also have ability so that they can also raise the share capital in the company, and they can also purchase and sell the shares of the company. Next is management and control. In the departmental undertaking, managed and controlled by the government official from the concerned industry. Okay. All the control is by the government. In the public corporation, it is managed by the board of director, which is nominated by the government. Okay. But in the case of government company, it is managed by the board of director who are nominated by the government, but private individual can also be the director only. Because in the government company there is both can play an important role, that is public as well as private, that the board of director is nominated by the government, and private sector can also give the some their director also. When we talking about the staff, the government servant and civil service code are applicable. Okay. In the departmental undertaking there is civil servants, but in the case of public corporation, not government servant, separate contract of the service. Okay. There were no government servant, they have the some contract to hire the any employees. In the case of public company or government company, no government servant, separate contract of service. Okay. The government company has also their accountability, have responsibility to decide the appointment as well as the remuneration of the employees. It is also in the case of public corporation, they have their own decision to appoint the any member as well as employees of the company. When we talk about the autonomy, no autonomy work under strict control of the government. In the condition of departmental undertaking, there is no independency or the self government. It is the under the full control of the government. When we talk about the public corporation, administrative autonomy, as government does not interfere in day to day working. Okay. There is administrative autonomy, they have the self government, and the government will the never ever interfere in the day to day activities. Whatever they have done, the government will never ask about it. Some freedom from the government interference. In the when we talk about the government company, there were also some freedom which we have taken from the government interference. Next is ownership. In departmental undertaking, it is wholly owned by the government, whole control is by the government. In public corporation, wholly owned by the government, it is also owned by the government, but in the case of government company, at least 51% share are held by the government. Only at least 51% share should be of the government, and left out are the from the private sector. Next is public accountability. Highest accountability means ki what is the responsibility for the others, as well as the any undertaking or enterprises, companies, how much they are responsible, okay, for the others of their work. So in the case of departmental, it is the highest, because they are doing their work under the ministry, or under the control of the government. When we talk about the public corporation, they are accountable, they are responsible for the parliament. And in the case of government company, they are accountable for the any ministry which is concerned, any ministry as well as department which is concerned especially for that. Next is flexibility of operation. When they do their operation, do their activity, how much they have flexibility to do their own. So in the case of departmental undertaking, there is no flexibility or very little flexibility. In the case of public corporation, there is considerable flexibility, not too much. When they need it, they have given the consider for the flexibility. In the case of government company, there is moderate, not too much flexibility, not very less. It is between the less or high. In the case of suitability, when we talk about the suitability, example, that is where it is suitable. So in the case of departmental undertaking, defense, post and telegraph and broadcasting, it is suitable for the departmental undertaking. In the case of public corporation, industrial and commercial enterprises of the national priority, that means we have taken the SBI, LIC, for that purpose public corporation is suitable. And in the case of government company, in industrial and commercial enterprises requiring participation of domestic and foreign private capital, it is for the any industrial and commercial enterprises which producing the capital goods for the, and they have taken the participation of both. That means a participation of the government, and the capital is also contributed by the domestic as well as the foreign investors or the foreign private capital. So both are invested in the government company. It's all about the comparison between the departmental undertaking, public corporation and the government company.